Videos are sponsored by Kajabi. Shoot video, even on your iPhone, upload it, and sell it. How much easier is it to start a business than that? We're going to focus on how did I find my mentors. So some of my mentors are a woman named Nicola and a guy named Rob. We'll start with those two. And I'll say, you know what, I'll even say another guy named Farley. So 3 mentors. I have a bunch more mentors than that, but we'll start with 3 because I have great stories that go with each. So with Nicola, who is fantastic, and I wish there were more women that I could find that I look up to as dynamic as Nicola. So I don't know, do you know what a venture capitalist is?
Yeah, somebody who invests in your business. I did a bit of research. I think it's more of a technology business, if I'm right.
Yeah, sometimes, but they could be, I know right now that's really popular. Venture capitalist also goes by VC. Right now it's really popular to invest in tech, but they really do invest in all sorts of businesses. But back when I did not know, in my early 20s, when I had no clue what a venture capitalist was, I had my action sports company, and I saw that YouTube was so to Google, but I knew that they didn't make any money, and I couldn't figure out how they survived all those years, what they were doing, and here I was trying to scrape by. And so I read this article, and it talked about how they used their credit cards to fund their company, and they used this other thing, their savings to fund their company, and all these things that I personally went through as well. I maxed out everything in order to initially fund my company. And then in this article, they talked about this venture capitalist firm called Sequoia. No clue what it meant. But I went to the Sequoia website, and it talked about how to write a business plan, what they wanted to see in a business card. I literally copied everything from their website, flew to San Francisco, and met with Sequoia. Now, on the plane back, I found out, someone said, you know, meeting with Sequoia is like having lunch with Michael Jordan. And I said, no, why? You know, you need to have a meeting. You need to know someone who knows someone who knows someone. I knew no one, and I just made it happen. And then through meeting with Sequoia, I got to meet Nicola. And then through meeting Nicola, I was able, there's something called an executive summary. I had no clue what that was, and it's so important. And Nicola is the one who taught me what an executive summary was. She's the one who taught me how to pitch. She's the one that taught me I was trying to conquer the world instead of focusing on one core amazing solution at a time in my company. I had this team of people that was so amazing, all working for me and ready to make this company the best company ever. But I was trying to conquer music in the action sports industry, trying to conquer fashion in the action sports industry, just any angle. I was trying to conquer it all. And Nicola's calm down, just focus on one thing and be amazing at it. Be a solution to a problem. So that's how I met Nicola. Do you have any questions about that?
No, that's all straightforward.
Cool. And then
that's awesome.
Rob, I was watching. So Nicola, I took a chance. I flew to San Francisco.
Yep.
Met people I didn't know, and they introduced me to Nicola.
Yeah.
For Rob, I was watching one of my favorite business sites that I told you about last week, Mixergy.
Yeah.
And did you check it out?
No, I think I had a brief look at it, but I haven't looked into it yet.
It's one of my favorite business sites ever.
I'll definitely have a look.
What was that?
I'll definitely have a look at it.
For sure. So for Rob, I was watching Mixergy, and Andrew was interviewing Rob, and the new company I wanted to start sounded exactly like what Rob had succeeded in. And I'm like, oh my God, I would die to be mentored by this guy. So I email Rob, but I don't just email Rob. I email Rob saying, I would absolutely appreciate if you would mentor me. Here's what I can do for you, and here's what I expect in a mentorship. And I laid it out, what I wanted. I don't remember what it was anymore, but it was something like, one phone call a month for 30 minutes or something like that, and this is the kind of input I want in that phone call. And then I couldn't believe it. He said, I'll give it a shot. I think this is nuts, but we'll see. And then I've now been mentored by him for quite a long time, and I'm actually an advisor on one of his companies. So it all came around full circle. It's been amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have any questions about that?
No, that's good. One thing that I would think of is I thought when you're trying to look for somebody like that is wouldn't they've got that saying beggars can't be choosers. So I suppose that's a good way of saying what you want, but um, maybe at the end of the day he could have said no, and then it might have been like, oh, maybe I set too much, my standards too high. If you know what I mean?
Oh, it's a great point. But I also
Yeah,
think sometimes, like if someone, for me, it was like if someone asked the question, can you help? And that's where
yeah.
they end it. It's like, what does that mean to me?
Oh yeah. What do you want me to help in type thing?
With how much
Yeah,
time
yeah,
will that take? So I pretty much wanted to outline how much time, and maybe I did say something to the effect of if it's less, that's fine with me or something. But at
yeah,
least I defined it so it wasn't an overwhelm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that was via email. So I'll say
Yep.
email. And it started seeing
Same way.
him.
Same way I got in touch with you.
Yeah. Seeing him
Yeah, yeah.
online. Totally. Right? And then the last one was interesting. So after I met Farley, after I met with Sequoia, I had no clue what I was getting involved in. I just didn't understand anything about large monies like that at all. So I called my friend, who I'd known since I was 14, and he's a jeweler, and so I figured he dealt with money. And I said, you know what? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just flew to San Francisco. I met with these really cool people, and I really need guidance. And he said, I know the perfect person. He's raised a lot of money. He'll be able to help you. And he introduced me to Farley, who then helped me transform my company into what it became, which was a sports media company. And at the time, I knew nothing about media. I was a social network before MySpace, and when we transferred into a media company, I literally took what Farley said and just ran with it. He said, you need to have an audition, and you need to get hosts and a media crew. I didn't even know what that was, but he gave me a phone number, and I called, and I said, I need to audition people, and I got hosts, and then I found media crew on Craigslist, and I just went after it. And
Oh, that's
eventually
awesome.
I had an established media company. So,
Yeah.
and that was all because of Farley. And I was able to brand my company as well. Again,
Yeah.
Farley would say, you need to say this when you have your hosts on air. You need to interview these types of people. You need to do these kinds of events. And he was spot on with everything.
Oh,
So,
that's
do you have any
awesome.
questions about that?
No, that's all good.
Yeah. So now